Welcome to this training video on Interpret SELDM, the post-processor for the Stochastic Empirical Loading and Dilution model SELDM. This video and the associated software were prepared by the U.S. Geological Survey in cooperation with the Federal Highway Administration. In this video, we'll demonstrate the methods for modifying text and explanations on a graph. With this video, we'll start with a completed scatter plot. The first thing we'll demonstrate is how to show a title within the graph. To do this, we will click the check box. Each graph type has a default title. You can modify the generic title in this text box. Each time you make a change, click the Update Graph button to apply the change to the graph. The title is now shown above the graph. The best option is to put the graph title within your document or spreadsheet, not in the graph itself. So we will uncheck the text box and update the graph. Now, click the Update Graph button to remove the title. Click the Format Graph Elements and Box Plot tab to modify other text on the graph. To modify the explanation text, box plot axis text, or the symbols for a graph dataset, choose the dataset to modify. Only the datasets that you have selected for graphing will appear on the list in the combo box. The full analysis name will appear in the combo box. You can edit the explanation text in this text box. When you change selections, the text and symbol information will change to match the selection. We can modify the text. Shorter explanations usually are better to minimize the size of the explanation on the graph. The box plot axis text should be as short as possible to fit on the axis. If you will be editing the graph outside this program, you can retain long titled text entries. None of the changes we make will be saved until we click the Update Selected Text and Symbol button. Let's modify the BMP entry as well. Select the BMP dataset. None of the changes we make will be saved until we click the Update Selected Text and Symbol button. Click one of the Update Graph buttons to incorporate the changes. We can see our changes in the explanation. Now, click the Format Graph Elements and Box Plot tab to modify the axis text on the graph. We can edit the horizontal axis text in this text box. We can edit the vertical axis text in this text box. We can hide the horizontal axis text by unchecking this checkbox. We can hide the vertical axis text by unchecking this checkbox. Click the Update Graph button to see the changes. Now we can see we have no axis captions. Click the Format Graph Elements and Box Plot tab to restore the axis text. Click the horizontal checkbox. Click the vertical checkbox. Click the Update Graph button. The axis text is back. Now, click the Format Graph Elements and Box Plot tab to modify the explanation. Uncheck the Show Outline checkbox to remove the explanation outline box. Uncheck the Opaque Background checkbox to be able to see through the explanation background area. Uncheck the Show Explanation Title checkbox to remove the word Explanation from the graph. Click the Select Explanation Location combo box to move the explanation on the graph. The default choice is upper right, but we will select the lower left item for this example because there's no data in that area of this graph. Click the Select Explanation Font Size combo box. We will select the small font item for this example. We may want to use a small font if the size of the explanation is obscuring the data in the plot. We also can hide the explanation and add it to the document containing the graph manually at a later date. Click the Update Graph button to make the changes. The explanation changes are complete. If you want to change the order of the explanation, you must do that by right-clicking on an explanation entry in dplot and moving it up or down. This concludes our video on modifying text and explanations on a graph.